No, give me a green! All I want on the M60! All I want on the M60! Good, feels good, feels good! How good, how good!
So, I'm not quite sure why you're here.
Well, the hearing's tomorrow.
Yes, I was told that was just a formality.
If it was just a formality, Captain, you would have been assigned counsel from the base.
Fire away.
Alrighty. According to your statement, Major Nelson Gray broke into your house 2 weeks ago. Sometime after 0400, you awoke to find him near the foot of your bed.
That's correct.
You keep a gun in the house.
I did. Then.
You reached for the phone. There was a struggle during which you shot him in the stomach. He fell, reached for his knife, and you shot him again.
Yes.
In the back.
Is that a question?
By the terms of military law, you can only claim self-defense if the amount of force you use is equal to the amount of danger you're in. So, if Major Gray was turning away, as the autopsy would seem to indicate, thank you, then he wasn't a threat, and the second shot was unnecessary.
According to who?
Prosecution. This is the basis of their investigation.
The DA already dismissed this case.
Yes, well, military standards are a bit more precise. Did you know him?
Major Gray came to the base 3 months ago to supervise a training exercise.
Any idea why he broke into your house?
I believe he was trying to kill me.
Yes, but why? A man doesn't just snap after 35 years of outstanding service.
Apparently he did.
Are you avoiding my questions?
Are you trying to make me explain Major Gray's behavior?
I'm suggesting you try, yes. This man was a decorated war hero. They want answers, Captain. They're not going to settle for smart remarks.
Why do I get the feeling you don't want to be here?
It's my job to anticipate the prosecution.
But you don't like it, do you? Defending a female Marine?
This case doesn't have any heroes, Captain. Nobody likes it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Best introduction yesterday.
I've had worse.
It took me by surprise, all of those questions again.
I like to be prepared.
Well, there were a few issues with Major Gray. I don't want to bring them up. I'm not trying to make excuses.
Well, you could use one or two.
So how much trouble am I in exactly?
High-ranking officer assaults female Marine who shoots him. It's a public relations nightmare. They're not going to want to drag it out.
As investigating officer, I've been appointed to conduct a formal hearing under Article 32 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice to inquire into the truth and form of the charges that have been preferred against Captain Mary Jane O'Malley. The general nature of the charge is violation of Article 119, manslaughter, by the shooting of Major Nelson Gray with a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Major Nesbitt?
Your Honor, at this time, the government would like to withdraw the charge of manslaughter and substitute a violation of Article 118, premeditated murder.
There's no basis for that.
We have evidence that supports the new charge.
The district attorney conducted a thorough investigation and determined not to indict on the grounds of justifiable homicide.
Additional information has come to our attention.
Major Gray broke into Captain O'Malley's house in the middle of the night. He pried open a window and went into her bedroom with a knife.
I'm aware of the facts, Captain.
Captain O'Malley was perfectly within her rights to defend herself.
The government's entitled to present its case.
It has come to our attention that the night of the shooting, Captain O'Malley gained access to the armory and removed a box of bullets. 230 grain, full metal jacket. The government would like to enter the statement of the duty officer into evidence to support a charge of premeditated murder.
Objection.
Captain O'Malley used the same ammunition to shoot Major Gray. Her actions indicate that she expected a confrontation.
Defense counsel was not made aware of this information.
There's no intent to deceive the defense. We just found out this morning.
We'll take a 20-minute recess.
You signed out bullets.
I went to the firing range.
Why?
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 To practice.
Oh, and you just didn't think that I'd be interested in that little fact?
No, it didn't occur to me, actually, because I go there 4 times a week to
Good plan,
practice.
Captain. That was really a great way to find out. Just let it explode in everyone's face.
I didn't take those bullets off the base.
Listen, don't keep anything from me. Understand? Nothing. I don't want any more surprises.
You think I'm lying?
My ass is on the line here.
It's not your ass I'm worried about.
Major Nesbitt, you picked a peculiar time to introduce this information. I hope you're not planning on turning this into a sideshow.
No, sir.
In view of the evidence, I'm going to recommend we go to trial.
Your Honor.
I have an order restricting Captain O'Malley to the base.
On what grounds?
She's a flight risk.
There's no basis for that. I want this on record.
Colonel Duran issued this order. I have no jurisdiction over this matter.
My kids.
Captain O'Malley has 2 small children. She has remained within the community since charges were preferred.
You
I
heard
think
me,
it's...
Captain. We're adjourned.
Could you call my ex-husband, please, and have him pick up the kids?
He deserves it. You're telling me.
You can go.
Okay.
Why didn't you take that deal?
Why do you think?
Do you have any idea what could happen to you if this goes to court-martial?
If facts get put on the table, I get judged by a jury of my peers.
And if they find you guilty?
Well, if I resign, I may as well be. How am I going to explain that to my
You
kids?
picked the wrong time to stick to your principles.
Is that your advice?
Hey, what do you want me to say? That was the best deal you're gonna get.
I don't
believe
make
me.
deals with my principals.
You can walk away from this without
You
serving
better
time.
figure out whose side you're on, Captain. Do you want to defend me or the Marines?
Update tonight on the Marine Corps investigation of Captain Mary Jane O'Malley, which has taken a surprise
Yes, I
turn.
know, Colonel Flynn, and-
Yesterday, here at the Marine
but-
Corps Legal Administration
sir.
building, she was charged with premeditated
Yes,
murder
I
in
am
the
well
shooting
aware of what it means to be here, Colonel Flynn, and I'm honored that you chose me. Yes, I know. It was a very good offer, sir, and I assure you I did everything within my power to convince her to take it, but she...
Captain O'Malley signed out bullets only a few hours before Gray...
No, sir. I don't want to be taken off this case. Yes, I realize that I'm up for review, and...
exemplifies the negative treatment of women in the armed forces.
Under control. You have my word. Absolutely no bad press. Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
That there is more to this crime than meets the eye. Marine Corps officials have refused to comment on the photographs taken outside of Captain O'Malley's home. Off the record, several Marines under Captain O'Malley's command have admitted that her affair with Major Gray was widely rumored.
Hi.
Hi. Come on, honey. Where is he? Is he gonna take you away? Honey, no. No, of course not. He's gonna help me. Okay, buddy. He's a lawyer. Hey. I'm not going anywhere. I promise I'm not going anywhere. Believe me? Oh, sweetie. It's all gonna be okay. What the hell are you doing here?
You had an affair with him. Didn't you?
Jesus.
You let everyone think he was just some nutcase who broke into your house while you were minding your own business.
I was minding my own business.
You were having sex with him.
That has absolutely nothing to do with what happened.
Oh, you mean he could have broke into anyone's room that night, but by some freak coincidence he broke into your room, the room of a woman he happened to be screwing? It's got everything to do with it.
I did not shoot him because we had sex. I shot him because he broke into my house and attacked me. Those are the facts. That's what I want to be judged on.
Yeah, well, they've got pictures.
Pictures of what?
They've got pictures of the two of you going at it like a couple of 15-year-olds. Even if I
What?
could keep the prosecution from introducing them, they know, and they're going to ask you. You can't have it both ways. If you want to be judged, you've got to put your cards on the table, all of them, not just the ones you like.
We broke it off 6 weeks before all of this happened.
Who broke it off?
I did.
Don't do that.
Is everything all right?
Everything's fine.
Don't walk away from me. Captain O'Malley! I am a senior officer. You don't walk away until I say you do.
He shot at you?
He cleared his weapon.
Was there an investigation?
They started. I didn't press charges.
Who took the statements? Major James Keefe. I need his home phone, please. Well, he was here a month ago. Yeah, would you check again, please? He was a range officer at Headquarters Service and Battalion. Transferred? Uh-huh. I see. Thank you. JAG manual investigation. There was a shooting incident at a live fire range.
Principal party?
Nelson Gray.
Nothing's coming up.
It was about 2 months ago. James Keefe was the investigating officer.
Sorry, Captain.
Thank you. Hello?
Hi.
Hey. What happened?
I got a visit from the MPs.
Are you kidding? Were you here?
You bet I was. On the bright side, I guess I could say things can't get much worse.
Huh.
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but there is no record of that investigation.
What does it mean?
It means they're protecting Gray. Why didn't you press charges?
Duran told me he was going to lose his pension and any hope of getting another job.
Maybe I should have taken that deal. I thought I would get a fair trial.
You'll get a fair trial. Private Forbes. Have a seat.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you recall about the firing range incident.
Not much, sir.
What did you see?
The target, sir. I was zoned in.
You were zoned in. Did you see Major Gray come onto the firing range?
I remember the major coming out to the range, but can't say I remember an altercation. I mean, Captain O'Malley seemed a little upset, but...
Where were you on the field?
I was at the far end of the field, sir.
The far end of the field, and you could hear his tone of voice. So, I'm presuming it was louder than a discussion if you were at one end of the field and were able to tell by the tone of his voice that he was upset. Am I right?
That is correct, sir.
He was yelling, wasn't he?
Yes, sir, he was yelling.
Did you see his gun?
Captain O'Malley was pretty tight on guns, sir. If he had one, she would have handled the situation, sir.
So there was a situation to be handled?
Not that I saw.
He had a gun. You didn't hear a gunshot. You only saw a discussion.
He carried his arm on his side, but I did not see it in his hand, no.
He didn't have a gun?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Henderson and Forbes told me that Major Gray was armed.
That is possible, sir.
Major Gray fired a gun at her. Did you see that?
No. No. On the range?
After the Major came onto the field and the firing stopped, did you hear any other shots?
I can't rightly say. I really can't remember.
That's curious because I have 5 other people on the field that day who heard a shot fired, a pistol shot.
So I just proceeded to take care of my webbing.
You better get your story straight, because if you are called upon to testify under oath and you're found to be lying, purging yourself, or obstructing justice, you're going to be dishonorably discharged. Do you want that?
No, sir.
Do you remember speaking to Major Keefe, investigating officer?
Investigation? Then again, sir, I can't rightly say.
You can't say whether or not you remember speaking to the investigating officer.
I don't recall, sir.
You don't recall. Do you recall a confrontation?
I did not go out to the range that day.
Did any of them mention the fact that Major Gray fired a shot at Captain O'Malley?
There would not have been an investigation if he had not fired the gun.
What do you mean?
The Marine Corps does not do needless investigations.
Do you remember speaking to the investigating officer?
Yes, sir.
Really? He spoke to all of you?
That is correct, sir.
And you told him the same thing?
Yes, sir. Just that.
What is it that these men are trying to hide?
I think that perhaps they feel that if the Marine Corps is getting ready to roll downhill, they prefer not to be underneath it.
Hey, you guys know Top Valley? Any Marine that doesn't have his dress blue uniform, he knows a way to get it for free. Free!
I got mine recruiting.
Hey, recruiting, that's a job you can take, Parker. And thanks a lot, buddy.
17-year-old punks, they got no business being Marines.
I hear uniform stripes would be crazy, guys.
Lieutenant Macy. We had an appointment.
Flew right out of my mind.
What the hell kind of dumbass game are you trying to play with me?
Excuse me?
You're taking a big risk getting these men to lie like that.
That would be a big risk, wouldn't it? If they were the ones that were lying. Captain O'Malley got caught with her panties down around her
It
knees.
sounds like you got some kind of feeling for Captain O'Malley to take such an interest in her panties.
Wow. I'm not the one I'll huddle up with her in that courtroom.
You're putting your career on the line, pal. Don't make your men do it, too. Major Nesbitt. Excuse me, sir.
Well, George Randall's boy.
That's right.
I've been waiting to meet you. Captain Randall's father's a 4-star general. His brother's a fighter pilot. Dillon, is that right?
Yes, sir.
2 Medals of Honor, Desert Storm.
Is that so?
Looks like we're on the wrong side, son.
With your permission, sir, I'd like a word with Major Nesbitt.
Carry on, Captain.
6 weeks before Major Gray broke into O'Malley's house, he fired a gun at her.
Cleared a gun.
Fired a gun. James Keefe initiated an investigation, which is not found in my report.
Captain O'Malley dropped the charge.
If there was an investigation, then people made statements. Those statements are relevant to this case.
This is all I have. A convening order initiating the inquiry and a memo calling it off.
What's going on here?
I'm not sure what you mean.
This was supposed to be a formal investigation to confirm the findings of the district attorney.
Captain O'Malley shot a senior officer.
She was defending herself.
They were having an affair.
Is she on trial for having sex?
She's on trial for killing Major Gray.
Yes, but what you're saying, sir, is that he wouldn't have gone after her if she didn't sleep with him.
Let's be civil, counsel.
Now, maybe you're offended that she had sex with him. I understand that, but that doesn't make it murder. You ambushed her at that hearing. You locked her up, took away her command, you trashed her house.
I resent that,
This
Captain.
is not a vendetta, Captain. We have evidence.
He broke into her house, not the other way around.
She called him before he came. We just got the records.
The DA dismissed this case.
And he's not a Marine.
Oh, that's what this is all about, isn't it? She took out a decorated major, and you're going to make her pay.
And how difficult do you think that's going to be?
6 officers on the jury. Only takes 4 to convict. We'll take manslaughter. But if she doesn't plead, it's murder.
Why did you call him that night?
I told him that if he was going to keep after me, I would call the MPs.
Thanks. Did you know he was coming?
If I knew he was coming, I would have taken my kids and gone someplace safe.
Well, that phone call makes their case. And they say that if you don't agree to manslaughter, then you're looking at premeditated murder. If you lose, you could end up at Leavenworth for life.
Otherwise, it's just 10 years, right?
Well, they could give you 2.
Do you know how much a kid changes in 2 years? You said I'd get a fair trial.
Yeah, I know, and I'm hopeful, but realistically, I mean, the photographs and the cover-up, they don't seem to want to let this go.
Captain Randall, Sergeant Carson, headquarters and service battalion. I was hoping that we could go someplace off base and talk. Would I tell you, you try and put me on that stand and I won't remember it.
Okay.
Major Keefe, he did that investigation just like you said. You got a lot of statements. Kept saying that Major Gray was in trouble. Then one day they came and took the files.
Who did?
They kept talking about Major Gray, saying how a man with all his years in the service, a man like that deserves respect. 2 weeks later, Major Keefe was on a plane to Pendleton. He's got family in California. He's been trying to get there for years. I still had a copy in my desk.
You really... You should testify.
I need my job, Captain. I got 3 kids of my own.
She could use a friend.
Captain O'Malley doesn't have friends.
How would you describe the relationship between Captain O'Malley and Major Gray?
They were screwing around.
Objection. Conjecture.
Sustained.
Just state what you observed.
Major Gray came in from 29 Palms to supervise a training exercise. I didn't think Captain O'Malley could pull it off. Then Major Gray spent some time with her.
What happened after that?
We won. No contest. It's as if she knew what to expect every step of the way.
Sometime later, there was an incident at the firing range. Could you tell us about that?
To the best of my recollection, Major Gray came by the range. Captain O'Malley took some kind of fit. Told him to get off the field. She said she wasn't going to let him ruin her career.
Did Major Gray seem threatening?
Not to me.
Captain O'Malley filed charges, didn't she?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why?
I have no idea.
Thank you. Your witness.
Lieutenant, I have a sworn statement that you gave to Major James Keefe on the day of the incident. Do you recall giving this statement?
Yes.
Your Honor, request permission for the witness to examine the document.
Your Honor, the prosecution was not made aware of this information.
There's no intent to deceive, Your Honor. I just received the document.
I'll allow it for a limited purpose.
Thank you, sir. Is that your signature at the bottom of the page?
It is.
Would you please read to the court how you described, under oath, Major Gray's behavior that day?
Major Gray disrupted a live fire exercise.
I marked another passage. Would you mind reading that, too?
Major Gray discharged his weapon. He claimed he was dry firing to clear the chamber.
But
it seemed to me he was trying to scare someone.
He was trying to scare somebody. Could that be why Captain O'Malley filed charges?
You'd have to ask her about that.
Objection.
Sustained.
Your Honor, I have copies of 33 other statements taken by Major Keefe regarding the incident at the live fire range. Each and every one of them describe Major Gray's behavior as erratic or threatening or
Objection.
intimidating. I'd like them entered into evidence.
If originals aren't available, those statements can't be introduced.
Oh, we'd be happy to call all the men to the stand, Your Honor, to verify these statements.
Major Nesbitt?
The prosecution will stipulate that the statements are accurate.
Thank you. No further questions.
You may step down.
We found 2 shell casings on the bed. The first one was here, second one here. The pattern of blood on the wall suggests that he was first shot while kneeling or sitting on the bed. He then fell and crawled from that position.
Away from the bed.
That's right.
The first shot entered the right lower quadrant of the abdomen.
That's right.
Where did the second shot enter?
Between the 6th and 7th ribs posteriorly.
His back.
You could say that.
Your witness.
Detective, in your opinion, does this photograph prove that Major Gray was trying to get away from Captain O'Malley?
Not necessarily.
Why else might he have had his back to her?
Get the knife?
No further questions.
Detective Batal, she shot him once. He fell to the floor. He turned his back to her. He was facing the door. What else
The guy
could it
was
mean?
in camis. He busted a window.
Detective Batal, did you know that Captain O'Malley was
Look,
having a
I know
relationship
you're going
with him?
with this, but it
did
isn't
you
all.
know that she called him before he
The guy
showed
was
up?
trouble, I'm
No.
telling you.
You assumed he was trouble, so you didn't bother to check.
Objection.
Sustained.
How long did it take you to complete the investigation?
2 days.
30 hours. No further questions.
You may step down.
Captain O'Malley. Captain O'Malley. Lucy Carter, Channel 2 News. You're getting some pretty bad coverage this case.
Did Major Gray show any
How do you feel about the
sign of
officers?
Some people say your service record is fake.
How could you believe Major Gray? Were you aware that he was married?
You believe adultery should be a punishable offense?
No statements, please.
Excuse me. Were you still together when it happened?
Anything to say to Mrs. Gray? You say your involvement with Gray helps your career.
You were right not to take that deal.
Did you want me to?
I knew you wouldn't.
It's not what I asked.
I've got an older brother who's a fighter pilot. Is it real? He's a hero. Wild man, breaks all the rules, but because he's such a great pilot, he's forgiven anything. And I was never like that. I was always... I took refuge in the rules. I love the rules, and everything that you've asked me to do for you goes against what the Corps wants, and it feels wrong to me. Just... But I know it's right. You know?
I know.
I still wish I wasn't on this side.
Me neither.
Do you believe it's appropriate for 2 senior officers to be involved?
Captain O'Malley, do you have any comments about the charges?
Are you planning on taking
Why
a
didn't you
stand?
tell anyone about your
What
involvement
pushed
with
him over
Major
the
Gray?
edge?
Why did you protect him? I mean, if you had to call him, then he must have been harassing you, but you never filed a complaint about that. And you withdrew the complaint about the firing range incident.
You don't put yourself in a situation and then start complaining about it.
Yeah, but he was unstable, right?
I chose to be in that relationship. And I can start whining because he didn't treat me right.
But the only people who saw him lose control won't talk. If you don't start whining about it, nobody's gonna know. 6 weeks went by between the firing range and the night that he came after. Did anything else happen?
Captain O'Malley's men, who claimed she was having an affair with Major Nelson Gray.
What did you do?
I didn't believe it was true. Both Captain O'Malley and Major Gray are outstanding Marines. It was inconceivable to me that either one would tolerate even the appearance of impropriety. I called Major Gray's wife, who happens to be a friend of mine, and I invited her to the base to prepare Major Gray's retirement party. I figured if there were rumors, her appearance would straighten things out.
And did it?
The day that she arrived, there was a incident at the live fire range. I confronted Captain O'Malley and told her I suspected her of improper conduct with Major Gray and that I was prepared to initiate an investigation.
What would such an investigation mean?
Major Gray was a married officer. If the allegations were true, it would mean the end of her career.
And did you, in fact, initiate that investigation?
No.
Why not?
Shortly after that conversation, Major Gray was shot.
6 weeks. Between the firing range and the break-in at Captain O'Malley's house. Doesn't seem like a short amount of time to me.
Is this a question?
Rephrase, Captain Randall.
Why did you wait?
I was hoping they would straighten things out.
Didn't occur to you that Captain O'Malley was in danger?
I had no reason to believe she was in danger.
There was a shooting incident. 34 men made statements that described Major Gray as unstable.
Counselor, I never saw those statements before.
Is it possible, sir, that you did see the statements and, in an effort to protect an old friend, asked Captain O'Malley to back down?
No.
You didn't arrange to have those records destroyed?
No.
Objection.
Didn't you bury that information, Colonel, instead of helping her? And when Major Gray went crazy, didn't you blame Captain O'Malley?
The investigation was called off when Captain O'Malley dropped the charges. If she didn't believe she was in danger, then neither did I.
No further questions.
Prospects terminated her into silence. Captain O'Malley's attorney hinted at a cover-up today.
You're turning this into a freak show. You called her, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to.
You didn't have to.
Hey, I am not the one turning this into a freak show. Those Marines are. Do you know who took those pictures? Do you know who gave them to that reporter? Macy.
Macy's a stupid kid.
Come on, do you really think that it was just him? Do you really think he would have made a move without Duran's approval?
Confronted her with knowledge of the affair.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Captain O'Malley's own outstanding service record, which contradicts the picture of a woman living in fear.
Captain. Captain. Hey. Captain. Captain. Wake up. Hey, Captain. You're drunk. Captain.
Oh.
Come on, get up. You're drunk.
Oh,
Get
no,
up.
I'm not drunk.
I'm gonna make you some coffee.
What are you doing here?
It's a big day. Thought you could use some company.
I never made a wrong move. Now look at me.
Well, you have got 2 hours. You're gonna be fine.
I feel like hell.
All you gotta do is tell the truth.
My ex-husband used to say, it's easier to shoot someone than tell the truth.
Peacenik.
I knew Gray was in trouble. I should have reported it.
You tried.
I killed him.
No. You stopped him from killing you. That's your job. Would you please tell the court what happened on the morning of February 1st?
I woke up. Major Gray was sitting across from me, holding my gun. I reached for the phone. He tried to stop me. There was a struggle, and I shot him.
Go on.
He pulled a knife, and I shot him again.
Did you think that he meant to kill you?
I didn't know what he would do.
Thank you, Captain. Your witness.
Captain O'Malley, on January 31st at 1845, you called Nelson Gray. Can you tell me why? He took my kids out of daycare. He gave my son bullets. I told him if he did anything like it again, I would turn him in. Were you worried? Yes, ma'am. Enough to call the police? I didn't want to overreact. He was leaving in 2 weeks. Wasn't it overreacting to drive to the base and sign out a box of ammunition? I went there to practice, in case he came by.
Objection. Speculation.
Sustained.
Why did you go there? To study myself. Is that why you took the bullets home?
I didn't take the bullets, ma'am. It's against regulations.
Captain O'Malley, you have 2 children. Do you normally keep bullets in the house?
No.
So what bullets did you use to shoot Major Gray?
The ones Major Gray gave my son.
You loaded the gun, you put the gun by your bed, but you had no intention of shooting Major Gray.
A lot of people keep a gun by their bed.
Most of them don't use it.
I had 2 small children on the other side of that door.
You thought he could expose you.
Objection.
Sustained.
He could have destroyed your career.
Your Honor, I request that Major Nesbitt's comments be stricken from the record and that the members be directed to disregard them.
Try sticking to questions, Major. It's not your job to testify.
Major Gray was married. Did you or did you not think your relationship could hurt you professionally?
In the beginning, yes.
After you shot him, did you conceal your involvement from the authorities?
Yes.
Why?
Your Honor.
Is this an objection?
It's outside the scope.
Overruled.
Why didn't you tell anyone that you were involved with Major Gray?
Because I was afraid.
Afraid of what?
Of what I'd done. I spent 15 years in training. I never once thought about what I was training for. I just turned into a person who could shoot someone.
Your Honor, I'd like to request a brief recess.
Let her finish.
I thought if I stood trial, a jury could make it right. I can see now it doesn't matter if you say I'm justified. That's what he kept trying to tell me. When you cross that line, you can't go back. I killed a man, Major Nesbitt. You could have my career if I could undo that. That's all.
Be seated. Has the court reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Captain O'Malley, would you and your counsel please rise? How do you find the accused?
Not guilty.
This court is adjourned.
Thank you so much.
Captain, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Captain O'Malley, how do you feel about the verdict?
What's next, Captain?
How do you feel about being vindicated? Hi, Captain O'Malley. What does this say
Is there
about
a lesson
being in the
here?
military?
Hey, baby,
Go on TV?
quiet.
Captain O'Malley, how does this make you feel about your career choice?
When did you say that?
Charges?
Did I hear you say that?
Feel like your gender had any influence
Please, just
whatsoever
5
on the
minutes of your
outcome of this
time.
trial?
Do you plan on staying in the Marines?
Hi.
I thought we went through all this so you could stay.
Yeah. So did I. Listen, thanks. For everything.
Oh, I'm sorry to see you go. We're losing a good Marine.
Oh, well.
Need some help? Or?
No. I got it right here.
Thank you.
I'll see you.